May still be too much light, I don't know. You're so crazy. This morning, Matt and I are going to do one of our favorite things to do every Christmas. Well, Matt don't actually like the process, but he does, as much as I do, love what we're going to do because it's part of you coming to be in our house for Christmas. We're so thankful for everyone that sends us cards. We just adore them. We love looking at the beautiful scenes, the beautiful graphics, reading all the heartfelt messages. It just touches us, and it's just become one of my very favorite things of Christmas, and I just adore it. So I thank each of you for doing that. We always hang them up in our kitchen. When I was a little girl, Granny would do that. She didn't get near as many cards as we've been getting from all of you, but the cards that she did get, she would line. Sometimes she would put them around the kitchen door. She might even just tape them to the wall. In later years, she made a crocheted rope and she hung it around her big window, and she put the cards on there. And so I love to display them. They're such beautiful, beautiful scenes, and so wonderful to look at them. And the past few years that we've been doing it in our kitchen in here, what really is nice for me is that when my family comes on Christmas Day, I see them going around and looking at them too. So they get to enjoy. They get to enjoy the beautiful things that you sent. So Matt's going to help me, and we usually tape them up around the window here. Last year we used the white cabinet. This year we've got so many we may have to use the door over here. So we're just gonna start taping and see how far we can go, right, Matt?
Yep.
Our local postmaster, he knows us very well, of course, because we go all the time. He told me he thought I had enough to go around the eaves of the house. So that's how generous and kind you've all been to us. But you're always like that, all the time. We appreciate you so much. You got your tape ready? Matt's over here acting like he's Rocky, stretching and getting in shape to get this job done. Well, I think we got them all put up, and they look so nice. Well, they look really nice. Such beautiful cards.
Yes.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. There's a lot of handmade ones. Talented, so talented people. Y'all are so talented. There's a little tiny one about this big that's really sweet. And one of the ones we put up is really not even a card. It's an envelope. But on the back of the envelope, sweet lady put our little, it's like little stickers, but then she named all of us, Matt, Tipper, all the way through, all the way down to the boys. It's really sweet. So that one's hanging back there too. So many different sweet ones though, but so many beautiful scenes, Christmas scenes, and really interesting graphics, really attractive graphics. I can geek out, I guess, over those kind of things all the time. Matt don't really notice as much those, but he did like the ones with the deers on them. Had the ones with the deers. Granny got me to make her Christmas cards this year. She don't send out very many, but she wanted me to make them. Years ago, she had made these little Christmas scenes, and she took a picture of them back then, which was not a real good picture at all, but one was a little Christmas people that she had made around her little store-bought Christmas village, and with one of her trees in the back. And then the other one were she'd make these out of Coke bottles, used to be 2-liter Coke bottles. She made a Frosty, a Santa, a Mrs. Santa, and a caroler, somebody singing, you know. So she had me take those pictures. They're not the best pictures, of course, like I said, and make her a Christmas card out of them on one of the, I think I used Zazzle, maybe one of those like the different ones out there that you can just open a free account and then make something and then order it. So she's been really pleased with them, and she give us one of them, give Matt and me, and also Katie and Ira and Corey and Austin, of course, and I'm sure my other brother Steve and his family. But I thought it was so sweet. She wrote out our address on the on the envelope, just like she was gonna mail it. She put Granny Wilson and then put the year 2024. So I thought that was really, really sweet.
You should have read what she put in my card.
What did she put in your card?
She
Katie's
put
in
something
here.
like, I'm proud of you. Never stop being good and doing good.
Oh, that's
Made me
sweet.
cry when I read it.
That is sweet. Very
It was
sweet.
precious.
I've got an idea.
What?
Next year, you could make a little competition out of the Christmas cards, and you could pick the winner, the one that your favorite, the one you like the best, and then whoever wins, you can send them something.
Oh yeah, that'd
Send
be
them up.
hard though. I don't know if I could pick
Put
a
you on the
favorite.
spot.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
Why not?
Because then I'm like, this is my favorite. No, that's my favorite. No, this is my favorite. No, that's. They're all so beautiful. It's so hard. It'd be tough. I wish I had the time to send everybody back a card, but I've never been somebody that sent out Christmas cards. I've never done that. I always admired people that did. At church, there'd be several, and even this year there'll be the same thing. There'd be several different people in the church. They just go around handing everybody a card. They've made everybody a card and signed it, and that's real nice. But I've never managed to do that.
Why not?
I don't know. I love Christmas cards. I made Christmas cards for a long time. I made them. Remember that? Remember those days? Made other kind of greeting cards too. Been a long time, but I made some. And I really liked those. And I gave them, though. Mostly I didn't send them out to people. I made maybe a pack of 5 and then give those for Christmas presents to people so they could send them out. Anyway, I don't guess you and your daddy ever sent out Christmas cards?
Not that I can ever remember now.
Miss Cindy would send out, she didn't send them out to many people, but she would send us one when she still lived in Black Mountain. But hers were more, she would look for these really unique cards, you know, more artistic than really Christmas, and then she would just write Merry Christmas in them.
We literally went out of town on Christmas Day when I was growing up for a lot of years.
Where'd you go?
Went
Hunting.
Oh, to deer camp. That's a deer camp.
So
Christmas.
we would get up and do Christmas and
and then hit the road.
kind of run through it and put everything up and jump in the truck and take off. Yeah. But it's just me and Daddy, so you might as well.
Right. Katie's over there cooking. She's like, I'll be quiet. And then everything she does is loud.
I can't help the sound of beef frying. That ain't on me.
Well,
Talk to the Lord.
it's on you because you're doing it while we're videoing.
Oh, I'm hungry.
I know
This
you're
poor
hungry.
child is hungry. I gotta eat.
Poor,
lady.
poor little child. It reminds me of one time when one of the first, well, maybe it was the second or something, but stomach viruses that Corey and Katie had and brought it home to us. I had it. Matt didn't get it. I guess that was the first one when they were big enough, and they would, of course, they didn't know what was happening when they were going to throw up, and Matt was trying to teach them to use a bucket, and because he was the one, I was sick too, I had it too, and he was the one that was trying to clean up after all of us and just do constant loads of clothes, and we were all camped out in the living room, but he got on to, I guess he just got everything changed, and then Katie did it again, and she didn't get to the bucket.
She got to the bucket, or she sure did. She was scared of it.
Yeah.
She got to the bucket and then turned and throwed up beside it.
Well,
And then that kind of made me mad because I'd been up all night and washed all the clothes. And I said, well, why'd you even come over here?
Matt got onto her just a little bit, but she laid back down by then. But this is the family. Even I was laying there like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. You know, I'm dying. But this is like the family story we all love. Is that Katie was just laying there and just laid back down. But then she said, I'm just a poor little girl. I'm just 5 years old. She done her hand up like that. I'd be ashamed. I'm just a poor little girl.
Look, that's the earliest memory of the Presley rage right there. It probably made me mad. That he got mad, so I'm like, I'm just 5. Get off my back. I don't know what's happening.
It wasn't that he was mad. He was just frustrated. I'm sure if you've had kids, you've all been there where that happens. Anyway, that was one of the good old times, wasn't it?
Yeah, good times.
Yeah,
Well, it's good
Mom.
for you. Matt didn't ever get it. It's just me and Corey and Katie
Yeah,
that
Mom,
had it.
that was a good time. We were all on
Yeah.
death's door. It's a good time.
All with the terrible stomach virus.
It happens.
Yeah, in those days when you have little kids, Katie and Corey brought stomach virus home from school quite often. And then they get to a certain age and they don't do that anymore, and that's wonderful. It's a good thing about them growing up is they get to where they don't bring so many germs back home.
Yeah.
What are you drinking today, Matt? What are you drinking?
Clove tea.
Matt's been on a clove tea kick. Is that like a tea bag, or do you make you
It's
just got cloves?
It's just actual cloves that I put in a little just an empty tea bag and close it up and steep it in hot water and put a little honey and a little lemon juice in it.
Is that supposed to be good for you?
Yeah. It's good for you. Good for respiratory stuff I've read or heard. And I've had a little respiratory hack for 3 months, and it's driving me crazy. Thought maybe by now it'd have it fixed, but I guess not.
I'm drinking my usual hot chocolate. It's Postum though, hot chocolate. Matt doesn't like it. He'd rather have the, he likes it okay, but he doesn't like it as much as I do because it's not as sweet as most hot chocolates, as the one that Granny always made me when I was growing up, or the little packets that you can buy. It's not near as sweet, but I like them. But Postum, I drink their original variety every day. It's what I drink in place of my coffee that I had to give up. But they have one that's more flavored like coffee instead of the original one, and then they have a hot chocolate one.
I like the little Swiss Miss packets, and then you rip the top of them and you dump it in the glass, and it fills it up to about right there with just chocolate and sugar, and then you put the water on it or milk or whatever, and that's what I like.
Not water, you gotta have milk.
Okay.
Then your hot chocolate will start tasting like a barn stall if you use water.
No, it don't.
I think it does.
You're just you got
My-
taste bud troubles.
Just phobia.
My favorite hot chocolate is the kind that Granny made when I was little, which is just using the Hershey cocoa and a little bit of sugar and I think I did a video about it. I could link to that, but it's just that usual, the recipe probably come on the back of the Hershey little can.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite one.
Well, I agree with you. The milk is better than the water, but the water ain't as bad as you're letting on.
Yeah. I drink water any other time. I just don't like it in hot form like that.
Does it taste like a barn stove?
Yeah.
It don't
Even
though.
when you drink regular water?
No, well, I don't know if it's heated. It's something about the hot. Now, I can't, that's not true though, because like I used to drink tea, like sweet tea, which had water in it that had been heated, but I guess it was cooled off by then. Lots of people told me I should make tea and then like chill it and drink it like an iced drink, and I'd probably like it.
Well, you can try that.
I could try it, but I never have.
I think you have think you have little phobias that run around inside your head and you can't straighten them out. That's what I think.
I do, but most people do. You probably have them too. About
I have
something.
Yeah,
I got 'em.
probably.
About something.
I keep mine hid.
And
We
for
had-
me, I can't. It's better pee before you leave, because then once we get out somewhere, that's too bad. I'll hold it until I die.
Yeah.
Not gonna face the.
Real good information for us to have today on this day, on this video. And enjoy
That
it.
Katie can't use the bathroom unless she
Listen,
goes
I'm
home.
not the only one that's afraid of public restrooms. You want to pick up a disease? That's where you should hang out.
When Katie and Corey
Not
were
thinking about
little and they were, potty trained, and they were really good. Once they were potty trained, they didn't have accidents and stuff. They were a little older than most kids. It's funny, Matt in those days
It's
would
16, 17.
no, they wasn't.
Please.
Matt would tease me like, "When are you going to potty train them?" And I was like, "I just can't. I mean, I just can't. I'm surviving. Is all I'm doing." So Corey basically, honestly, potty trained herself. We had the little potty and we talked about it and all that. But she started pulling her diaper off and going in there and using the bathroom. So she basically potty trained herself. And then she was probably trained for about a month until Katie was. And why Katie finally got potty trained was Corey potty trained Katie. Really, really. Anyway, so and then after that they were hardly ever had accidents or didn't have any really at all. They were good. But their one hang up was they would not use the bathroom anywhere but at home. So you're at church on Sunday night, or one time I remember we were at Oak Grove up in towards Andrews, and I had to leave. I just had to leave the church and come home because they wouldn't use the bathroom and they had to go. They wouldn't do it and come home.
Only on Celebrating Appalachia will the talk go from Christmas cards to potty training. So that's just the way it is.
There's gonna be some other kids out there.
Let's
that
find
had
something else to
funny-
talk about.
Okay, you want to go back to Christmas?
Well, that's how we kind of got started.
Okay, we'll get off the potty train and go back to Christmas.
Listen, it's a real deal. And now that I'm
It's real
alone,
life.
it's something I'm facing. Yeah, it's this and that becomes all of a sudden you have to become worried and obsessed and concerned with all things bathroom when you have a child.
That's true.
I'm looking forward to one day that won't be all things like that, but just gotta get through it.
Yeah. So back to Christmas. Christmas is almost here. We can't believe it. It's went so fast this year. Don't you think so?
Yeah, it has.
We're looking forward to it. My nephew Mark's getting to come home, and his wife and little boy from New Hampshire. So that's going to be where everybody in the whole family's looking forward to that. Can't wait to see how the little boy's grown and hear him talk, and of course see them too. We
He
miss
never
them.
was little.
No, he never was little. He's a big boy. He was a big boy from the day he was born. Pretty much, yeah. He's big and has a big appetite, so I guess he's only going to get big, which his daddy's real tall and big too, and his mother too. Both of them are, so I guess he's just going to be a big person, but we're excited about that. And of course, we're excited. This is our first Christmas with the grandsons. They're really too little to understand anything that's going on. Woodrow especially, he's not even aware of anything. Now, Ira likes to look at the Christmas trees. He looks at them and goes, even though he's seen them every day, he goes, ooh, ooh. So that's sweet. And we'll just enjoy being with family. Our heart does really go out to people, though, that I talked about this a little bit in my last live, I think it was, that some people don't have family. Some people don't have those wonderful memories and nostalgic connections to Christmas like we do, which is just sad, but it's true. Lots of people don't have those, and some people had them and lost them. They don't have them anymore. One of our friends that reads the blog, he's like that. He had all the family, but he lost his daughter and he lost his wife, and the holidays are real hard for him. Christmas and Thanksgiving are hard, and so we're sorry for folks like that, and we wish that if it's in that case like that you hadn't lost whoever it was, or if you never had it, we're sorry for that too. That would be my wish for the whole world, and especially thinking about kids being, reared up and raised, is that they would have that tight family, and that I think that's one of the most noble goals, is to be a good mother, to be a good father, to be a good husband, be a good wife, and then therefore your kids will have better,
Right.
Yeah, and that ties into, if they are, then that helps you have those wonderful memories that we have of Christmas. And there's all variations of that, of course. Matt's mother and father divorced when he was little, but you still have those memories of, like you were talking about. And Matt primarily stayed with his dad, but he did see his mother, and she'd come at Christmas. We got some old pictures of her, and looks so different.
Yeah.
But bringing Matt presents and stuff, and certainly in later years, Miss Cindy was much closer to Matt. So there's all variations of that, but our heart does go out to you, and if you're one of those people, and we hope that our videos bring you a little bit of enjoyment during that time, because like I said, I know it's really lonely time for some people. I'd mentioned in that live, and if I could find it, I'd link to it in here too. I could put it in the description, but Sean of the South, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he had a video recently where he talked about that, where he talked about those, that it was hard. It was a joyous time for so many people, but for lots of people too, it was not a joyous time. So I will try to link to that and put it in the description below, or at least put his channel, and you could go there and listen to his other stuff. He's a great storyteller, great storyteller, and got a great accent. He sounds different than us because he's from Alabama, but he's got a great accent too, and it's humorous in a lot of his stuff. Now those things are not humorous, that one that I was talking about, but sometimes he's humorous in a what do you call that, like not in an obvious way, kind of not really sarcastic, but
kind of a conspicuous way.
Yeah. Anyway, thinking back to your Christmases, what's one of the things you think about? Going to grandma's or getting to go deer hunting, I guess, be off from school and go deer hunting.
One of the things I enjoyed the most was being off, especially when I was real young, but I was old enough to have a gun, was rabbit hunting. Just right there close around the house. Growing up back then, there was not as many houses, and it wasn't as populated. And it was usually cold, and I had a little beagle dog that just ran loose all the time, and we didn't keep it up, but it would run rabbits every day of its life. And if I'd get shotgun shells or something for Christmas, I'd just as soon as we got up and got Christmas unwrapping over with, I'd be putting on clothes and getting my gun and go out and find a dog and go rabbit hunting. It was a whole lot of fun. The dog wasn't all that good a rabbit dog, but I didn't know the difference. Looking back on it, I can see that it would try, but I would go to where we lived was kind of a bottom type land, and there was lots of brush piles and broom sage thickets and stuff, and I'd go to those brush piles and kick on them and get a rabbit to jump out and take off running, and then the dog would see it, and then of course it would take off trailing it and run it, and it was a whole lot of fun.
What was your dog's name in those days?
Banjo.
Banjo. What kind of dog?
It was a beagle.
Beagle.
Yeah,
Where'd you get it?
I don't remember that. I was about 10, 11 years old, and we had him for quite a few years, and he was just a pet, and we never did keep him up. And a lot of hunting dogs are kept in a lot or kept up, so they've got lots of energy for the time when you want to go hunt. But mine just was the pet, and we'd pet him, play with him in the summer, and run rabbits in the winter. But I really enjoyed that.
I don't know, I always looked forward to, when I was that young, I always wanted a baby doll, so I was all about the baby dolls. It was, one year I wanted Baby Come Back. It was whatever doll was, they showed on TV or whatever, but I always wanted dolls. I was crazy about my dolls. Yeah. One year me and Paul got a bicycle that we shared, but that was nice, yeah. I remember it sitting there. No, we didn't really fight. We didn't fight much. Well, we fought about some stuff, but not stuff like that. We wouldn't fight. And we eventually both got one, but at that time it was kind of for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly, I think for me, of course, as believers, is the things tied to like church, thinking about the Christmas play and the getting to sing Christmas songs, and the goodie bags after church, the brown paper pokes filled with the orange and the apple and the piece of candy, maybe some chewing gum, maybe some juicy fruit and some nuts. It's funny, in those days we usually had oranges and apples at home, and we had candy, but it was somehow special getting it in that brown bag. I don't know. Whoops, there went one of our cards. Did it scare you?
No. I don't know.
Matt said as soon as we open the doors when the cards will start. We'll put it back though.
Next year we'll nail them up.
No, we can't nail them up.
Okay.
Because anyway, but it's all those feelings, and then of course the ones at home too. But really special. Talking about nailing them up though, thinking about how things have changed. In one of my recent Christmas things I read was Cradis Williams talking about when he was a school teacher. And his little rural school had never had Christmas before. Nobody celebrated Christmas. So he was, he asked everybody and asked the parents, and they all wanted to have it. So anyway, I can link to it and you go back and hear it. But one of the interesting things is the man that owned the land near the school, that he let them go and hunt a Christmas tree on his land. It was like a cedar tree. And then he talked about one boy's father built like a kind of a stand to prop it up, but it wasn't like what we think of today, because then what they did with that stand, they had to make a way to keep it from turning over. They just nailed it to the floor. Just nailed it to the
like
floor
that.
in the schoolhouse, and didn't even think nothing about it. And I thought, how things have changed. That's just so different.
Yeah, that costs $100,000 to fix now.
Yeah, I know. It's just such a different time. And
Yeah.
you think about old houses, if you've been in, like even my Granny Gazzy's, just nails, different places hung here and there and different things. And
There's a few in here.
yeah, there's a few in here
If you
too.
go in there where my little corner is.
Oh yeah, in there too, to hang stuff on.
Little hooks and nails and
But
stuff.
people just didn't think about stuff like we do today. I mean, we couldn't. I wouldn't want somebody nailing in my floor for the Christmas tree. It's just a different time. I don't know. They just had a whole different thought process. Of course, they lived in different circumstances than we do
Right.
too. So, but that was interesting. So, I don't think I'm gonna let you nail in my kitchen though. You
Okay.
just have to stick with the tape.
Okay. We'll just listen to them keep falling.
No, they won't. Usually the one or two, the heavy ones fall, and then we really plaster them up, and then they usually last good.
Yeah.
It is really enjoyable to be able to see them and look at them, and we appreciate all of you so much for sending them. But we appreciate all of you, even if you didn't send a Christmas card, because you allow us to do what we love every day of the world, and we really appreciate it. Me and Matt have been talking about that a lot in the last few days, how blessed we are and how God's blessed us, and you're part of that, and you're part of that blessing. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And it's really amazing, really pleasing and all that, but really humbling too, though, when we think back to the days when we, the Christmas that we couldn't even buy Christmas, couldn't even get corn candy, anything. So really humbling to be able to look back and see the hand of God in your life,
Right.
for sure. And I guess we will move on to our next project, which we're going to go to Corey and Austin's and help Corey do a little thing, and
Yeah.
come back and cook supper.
Yeah.
We're always glad when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia, and we wish you a very, very Merry Christmas.